All right. Hello, YouTube. Deceive just came out with this new intra-season update. Don't know what that means. Look it up. I don't care. Yeah, it just came out today, and lots of information, lots of good information here. So, let's see what we got. Welcome back, agents, for our first intra-season content update. As you might have guessed by the title of this, this update is all about raising the consequences for reckless action and making the playfield more advantageous for stealth plays. Which, talking about that, yeah, whenever I play this, I notice a lot of people, especially in squads, play this game like a battle royale. In solos, it's a little bit more chill in my opinion. I mean, in the games I've played, it seems more like a stealth game when you're doing solos. But in squads, people go in, they hear guns, everyone in the lobby goes for that. And I think the good thing about this update is that they want it to be more like a stealth game rather than a battle royale, which I kind of agree with. And hopefully this does make those changes in a good way. Let's see what we got here. This has been a very clear thread of feedback where overwhelming majority of the community agrees. Yep, you want more reason to hesitate before shooting and greater advantages when getting the drop on someone that did not. This is what this update is about. Of course, it also comes with a lot of bug fixes, I mean, and targeted balance fixes around some of the most high profile issues. Before we go in, you should specify not a full season update. Okay, yeah, yep. This is before the next season comes out. I don't know when that's going to come out, but they're just clarifying that. So they're updating the heat system. First and foremost, Heat 2.0 is a more robust framework for the future. It allows us to tweak many more values around heat in a much faster fashion than we used to be able to with the previous iteration. The good thing about this game, I've noticed, is they're updating things very quickly for a very small indie team, which I like that a lot because they just added the heat system not too long ago for the start of this first catalog. And already before the second one comes out, they're improving it. What it looks like, see, in a much faster way. On top of that, we've reworked the entire system to be not only much more present, but also clearer and more readable at a glance in the middle of the act. Also clearer and more readable at a glance in the middle of action. Let's dive in. So I'm wondering, because it's usually on the bottom left of the screen. I'll probably put in a clip or something of me playing, and you could see the heat system on the bottom left there. So I wonder if they're gonna try to make it more present, maybe like somewhere like a flash around the border or something in the middle of the screen that pops up saying like your heat goes up. The damage-based heat, how you obtain heat is no longer tied to downing an NPC, but directly to damage dealt. You gain heat relative to the damage dealt to an NPC versus their max health. This means that single tapping NPC to do a spy check will now yield heat, and downing an NPC will still offer the full penalty. So I'm assuming that means making yourself vulnerable if you down an NPC. Tweaked values, you can gain more heat than before by fully downing an NPC. It makes you wonder, like, can you down them enough to where they just don't get revived? Like, they're just down on the ground for like the rest of the game. Because before, I mean, at least I've never noticed it. When you would down an NPC, you just splash some water on them and they wake up. But I'm assuming this means that if you down them enough, then they're just dead. So yeah, that's kind of interesting to know that NPCs have their own health. I mean, that would make sense because they're people, supposedly. It will take 2 NPCs taken out to gain a single heat level. The VIP is an exception to this rule, giving much more heat if attacked. So that's really nice, actually, because they're VIP. They should, you should gain more heat by like the higher level of the NPC. Heat from scolding. You get scolded, you like let's see, by non-guard NPCs while out of cover in a restricted room. You will slowly build up heat over time. Penalty level changes. The original implementation of heat, you would gain a short penalty right when you down an NPC. Yeah, you'd gain like vulnerability or something. With a high enough heat level, this penalty had its own timer independent of the heat level decrementing. I don't think I've ever gotten that high of a heat level to really notice this in action. In Heat 2.0, the heat penalties will stay as long as you are currently within the heat level bracket. That means you need to let heat vent down to get rid of the penalties to compensate for this and increased heat from multiple sources. Heat now vents a little bit faster than before while in cover. Oh, here we go. They have a little visual representation of the new heat system, I believe. The 3 levels now have clear status effects with names. Heat level 1, 2, 3. Okay, so yeah, they put up here. All right. Different visual look to the vulnerable effect. All right, that's pretty nice. Guard situation. Guards will now give heat like any NPC. The intent is for players to start seeing heat as a resource. Spending it to get rid of some guards is going to bring risk to a player that they will need to weigh correctly. And the spy hit buffer. So we added a mechanic to limit accidental heat in fights with all the changes. There's a buffer after hitting a spy recently where you won't gain any heat if you hit an NPC by mistake. This buffer is short and is only intended to prevent random heat gains. That's actually really not. Oh, hold on. Before I even scroll down, that's actually really nice because, yeah, a lot of times you'd be in a fight and then an NPC would just walk in front of you and get knocked out. And you're like, well, just gained a little bit of heat there and a little bit of vulnerability, and now I'm taking more damage. Yeah, that kind of sucks when that happens, but that's good that they added the spy hit buffer, because yeah, it sucks when the NPC just walks right in front of you when you're lining up a shot. They just take the hit for the spy. All right, look at this, guys. Wow, elite guards. These guys look awesome. Black suits, purple trim, whatever. These are going to be the guards in the technician rooms, because before this, you would have just the regular blue guards, and then you'd go into the technician room. There would just be the scientists, technicians, and there weren't any guards in there. I mean, blue guards could walk in there, but now they're gonna have elite guards. Let's read about them. After repeated catastrophic failures of their security, the VIPs are putting together a new training program to deploy elite guards to the field. These new guards have heightened access capable of entering technician rooms, higher caliber weapons that deal more damage, and improved endurance, making them capable of taking more damage before going down. So they're not only beefier than regular guards, but they also deal more damage. And I believe regular guards deal like 5 damage per shot. These, I'm gonna assume, is double that, maybe 10 damage per shot. I'm not sure, but we shall see. That is very nice. Also, the regular guards can get 1 shot in the head and go down, while these, I'm gonna assume, will take 2 shots at least to the head, or head, body, whatever. They're gonna be beefier, that's for sure. Elite guards will be very few and far between before the vault, but you can no longer depend on the fact that nobody but a spy and the VIP can enter vault terminal locations. You also better watch out inside the vault. Picking a fight in technician rooms, they just got more dangerous. That is very true. Okay, so by that sentence here, I'm assuming that these guys can also go into the VIP locations, which would be interesting to see. It would definitely make extracting a lot harder, especially if you pick a fight with another team in those rooms. Yeah, I could see that being very interesting. As always, we'll be monitoring how elite guards affect the game, and we hope it will add a new layer of tension. I do like that. All right. Ooh, okay. So these are like the I'm assuming these are like the spy crates that when you die, you drop these. It gives you a little bit of health, some ammo, and some intel, which it usually does that anyways, but okay, let's read this. To help against encroaching presence of heat and the danger presented by elite guards, spy caches have been outfitted with a new cover booster a new cover booster as well as a slick new look. I like the new look, honestly. Before it looked like a giant ammo crate, but now this looks very nice. It shows like what all you're getting inside the cases. But also it gives you a new cover like instantly. So as soon as you get out of a fight, pick these up and you go back into cover. And whenever somebody else comes, I mean, if they didn't see you go into cover, then I mean, you're pretty good. It sounds like a very good improvement there. You will now instantly recover when looting one of these caches, allowing you to disappear and go back into stealth. Play after a tense fight. This will help players that just had a very close fight and would have difficulty losing guards, potentially resulting in their death by giving them a clear out when looting caches. So yeah, well, after, like I said, in squads, you'd be in a fight, you'd get third partied, you might win, you might lose, and that just kept happening, especially in squads, because more teams would just keep coming until whoever the last one standing was. But with these, you can finish a fight, grab these cases, and then you are less likely to get third party. Oh, okay, I like this right here. The dossier menu. Added a new menu with top secret information on all NPCs, including their often requested names to facilitate team communication and callouts. This menu also features a full list of status effects with their effects, so you can brush up on your game knowledge. Okay. So this is actually really nice because whenever you're trying to point out NPCs, you're like, oh, a person with the red shirt, or I don't know, handlebar mustache guy, or polka dot. I don't know. You kind of just like pinged them and it was like, yeah, it's that person there. But now they all have names, I guess, based on their player models. That's really nice. It's nice that they added this so you can actually like identify each of the characters. And I'm gonna be honest, the names they picked for these are very fitting of the way they looked. I'm not gonna lie. That is very good. Okay, and then the status effects they were talking about is for the spies themselves and what these things do. Oh, and then they even describe the heat levels here. So victims receive 30% bonus damage from any source. That's a lot. Victims receive 50% bonus damage for heat level 2 and 100%. Dude, if you get heat level 3, you're basically melted. So they're rarely trying to punish the they left the mouse in here. They're really trying to punish non-stealthy combat. I mean, it makes sense because it does feel like a battle royale sometimes, and they don't want it to be like that. They want it to be like a spy game because that's what it is. So that's really good. That's a lot of damage. So try not to get heat level 3. You already like, you can already get like one shot by some of the best weapons, and if you get vulnerable. But with this, yeah, you're definitely gonna regret it. All right, let's see. We got XP booster change, feedback after introduction XP booster, which we are now acting. Now on, your XP booster will only deplete during matches. Yes, dude. I was talking about this. Every time I would put an XP booster, I hated games that had the thing where it counted down even if you weren't in a match and you were waiting to queue up. And if the queuing times are long, you just wasted like 30 minutes of that XP booster. But yeah, games should always have their XP boosters deplete only during matches, and this is a good update. Not in the main menu, and not if you are offline. Your XP booster is also active for the entire match if you start a match with only 1 minute left. If you use, I think it's saying that like if you go into a match with an XP booster with a minute left, it's going to count for the entire match. Okay, that's what it's saying. We hope you'll appreciate these tweaks, and we look forward to more feedback on the subject. Cover change, interact time tweak. Interacting with the NPC to change cover is now faster. I don't really have an issue with this. The issues I would have is if I'm trying to hack something and an NPC's like close by to them, it'll like make me change into them rather than hack the thing. That's the only issue I've had, so I haven't really ran into this situation. Crouch fatigue. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. Introducing equivalent to jump fatigue that will affect players repeatedly crouching very fast multiple times in a row. So I'm assuming this is to prevent teabagging, which is a thing that's been in gaming for generations. And Overwatch tried doing this and it was not received very well. But their explanation for this is players will gain progressively worse speed debuff when crouching more than 3 times within a very short period of time that will gradually go away as they stop crouching. This is mostly to remove the advantages of mashing crouches in combat to make yourself harder to hit, leading to uninteresting combat. I don't really agree with this part of the update that much because, like I said, Overwatch tried doing the same thing. It's mostly there to prevent toxic players from teabagging, but that's just, teabagging's been a thing for generations in gaming. And they're saying it's to prevent yourself from like spamming it in combat so you don't get hit as easy, leading to uninteresting combat. But in my opinion, the game combat is very linear. You're walking and you're pointing, and it's very uninteresting by itself. So in my opinion, I think adding crouches and jumps and strafes adds interest to the combat, because if you're hitting your shots while doing all of this, that just means you're a better player and you can hit your shots. And if the other person can't hit their shots, that just means they're, skill issue, you know, that is basically all it is. And that's what this sounds like. They're saying that the spamming crouch or whatever leads to uninteresting combat, but to me, I think it adds interest to the very linear combat, because if you can hit your shots, then you can win the fight, basically. So I don't know how bad the debuff is. It might not be that bad, so we'll just see how that is. Yeah, the crouching thing, I guarantee you it's mostly just to prevent people from teabagging. They added new animated inks, I think 10 of them, and they look pretty cool. Obviously you can't see it animated here, but you can kind of imagine what it looks like. Better support for different aspect ratios. Okay, global changes, slightly reducing the time headshot negation lasts after blowing someone's cover. The current duration has a disadvantage for a few different weapons that would lose more shots than intended before landing a headshot. Making it a bit shorter will even the playing field a bit more with slow rate of fire, etc. Players considering the time it took for them to get a follow-up shot. Cover shield headshot negation time. So that's actually pretty nice, because especially if you're using like Yumi or Ace or Chavez, where you kind of need, or anyone should be like hitting headshots, but those specifically where like their fire rate isn't very fast and they rely more on headshots to get their kills. That's pretty nice, because once you break the cover, you can't headshot them while they're in cover, but once you break the cover, then you can. So yeah, that's pretty nice. Just a little bit shorter. Agent balances. Okay, this is going to be interesting. So we'll go over this. You will see below what will be adjustments to reload times. We are revisiting most of the cast. Make sure downtime given by reloading fits their overall playstyle and gives an edge to the rival party that can be capitalized on. Currently making changes to a multitude of stats, including headshot modifiers on weapons that perform too strongly in the meta. So I already can imagine which characters these will be. You know, you got Yumi, Ace, Chavez. Let's just see what these changes are. So first one's Ace weapons. Changes to Ace weapons are mostly around the theme of reload time. We are also placing both the Jack and the King in a lower unified class of headshot modifiers. Queen of Diamond reload time increased. Wow. Okay. The Jack of Diamonds reloads. Oh man, increased. Okay. Damage reduced, and the crit multiplier. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, they're definitely knocking back the one-shot characters in this, knocking them down a peg. Reload time. Wow, that's okay. Just 1 point of damage more. That's not bad. But the crit multiplier is reduced by just a little bit. That one's okay. Cavalier. Okay, now we're on Cavalier. Weapons getting a bit more changes around weapons. Or Dragoons have been underperforming for a little while, and we want to make them more competitive overall. We're also adjusting the Hydras to calm down and their very powerful headshots a bit, and making the Wyverns faster to reload at the cost of a bit of headshot power. Okay, so let's see what we got. Reload time, they're speeding it up, increasing the damage, base damage. That's pretty good for the base weapon. Increasing the reload time for this one, decreasing the fire rate, and decreasing the damage for the Hydras. Decreasing the reload time for the Wyverns, and decreasing the crit multiplier. I haven't played much Cavalier to really know how good she is right now. That's her. Chavez. I know Chavez is probably going to get a big nerf. Vigilante has been outshining the Sentinel in most situations previously. As such, we are lowering its damage, its damage a bit to really focus into the fast-firing alternative niche with some downsides built into that. The Duke is getting a reload time revision. The rest of the cast to really focus on its high risk nature if you miss your shots. That is true. Yeah, because like I was saying way back with the cover thing, these characters really rely on their headshots because of how little ammo they have and how much damage it does per shot. So the base is getting an increased fire rate. That's pretty nice. I think the base gun is actually a really good one for Chavez, and since it's getting an increased fire rate, that might be really good. Second gun, less damage, less crit damage, and the Vigilance is just getting less damage overall. The Duke doesn't seem to have damage changes, but it is getting a longer reload time. But this one can also, I think, one shot. So that's pretty decent. Yeah, they didn't really state anything about damage for the Duke or Sentinel. Moving on to Hans is not getting extensive changes. Let the community know we are currently looking at his passive. Overall reload time, fit, rest of the cast. So longer reload. Yeah, basically just longer reloads for Hans. Larson is doing very well. We're only adjusting his pickpocket passive to be in line with heat. Okay. Heat values from hitting an NPC have been tweaked to be in line. The new value from shooting NPC. Okay. That's basically all he got, is just a pickpocket change to adjust with the new heat system. Madame Zhao, or however you pronounce it, just to further differentiate weapon archetypes and fit the rest of the cast. Yeah, a lot of these are just reload changes. Her base weapon's getting a shorter reload time, and her second one is getting a longer reload time. Nothing about her third one. Red's weapon, Red's Jack of Heart, is still a very high performing weapon, and we're tweaking it a bit to make it less oppressive. Love Bite is not getting any changes for now, but we are looking at spread tweaks to make it better perform in the future. Okay. So her base is getting a longer reload time. Jack of Heart, longer reload, less damage. Yeah, that's basically like Chavez there. And his second gun. Expertise, Red Sweet Embrace has been performing extremely well. It's her debut. Power of giving cover back to team and a small bit of immediate healing is already quite potent. As such, we are removing the cleansing aspects that this passive had. Cleansing status effects would lead to frustrating encounters that are hard to understand for rival players and could lead to a variety of non-desirable exploits. like cleansing heat related status effects. That's interesting. The flip side, Love Bomb has been an underwhelming part of Red's kit, and we hope to make we hope that making its radius non-visible to rival agents will give it a bit more of a use for trap-loving players. Okay, Squire, pretty big changes, performing very strongly for a long time and mostly targeting the Javelin and his base weapon for adjustments. We hope this will make Squire less frustrating to fight and even the playing field for more diverse agent selection. Okay, base weapon is getting +1 mag size, longer reload, a 0.1 decrease in the fire rate, and significant nerf to that damage from 17 to 15. Trident reload is significantly increased. That is insane, from 1.45 to 2. I don't play Squire that much, but that sounds like a really slow reload. The Javelin decreased mag size from 8 to 7, increased reload time from 1.7 to 2.2, fire rate 2.4 to 2, so it's faster shooting now, just a little bit. Crit multiplier down by 0.25. Nothing really about his damage on this one though. But yeah, that's say that's a pretty good nerf there. Other than it shoots faster on that one. We've been toning down damage reduction across the board recently, and Aegis cover escaped most of it since it was not tied to the resistant status effect. We are directly tweaking this passive with this update to once again make Squire less of a terror on the field. Mod 2 Aegis cover, shorter duration. Wow, okay. Damage blocked from 50 to 25. That's a significant nerf. Alright, I see Yumi's next. Curious. I just recently maxed out my Yumi, so this is going to be interesting to me. We are continuing our work to make Yumi a more viable agent. We nerfed her base passive pretty hard at launch to counter gadget spamming strategies, and while we will not go back to anywhere near the amount of passive gadget regen she had back then, we are upping the amount to 65% to allow her to lean on gadgets a bit more. Well, yeah, that makes sense because it's kind of tech heavy. We are also giving more expertise cooldown refund for energy catalyst to make it a more enticing and gameplay redefining choice. Okay, so base, quick fix, cooldown reduction, 50 to 65%. So that, I mean, that's still pretty good. Booby trap, expanded size and duration for bubbles created from booby traps. Energy catalyst, cooldown returned, 33 to 50%. Wow. So yeah, it's mostly just about her mods. Nothing really about her weapons, it looks like. Okay, going on to bug fixes. Fixed an issue that allowed players to bunny hop in online matches. What? Oh no, that's kind of, dang, bro. They patched bunny hopping apparently. That was actually kind of useful, especially like whenever you're playing Yumi. You can kind of just, as you're charging a shot mid-air, you can just b-hop to keep your momentum. And because whenever you charge your shot as Yumi, you slow down very, very much. But like doing the b-hop thing kind of helped because then you could keep your momentum while holding that. Ah, man, I really hate that they're kind of removing all of the movement text and things you can do to like really show your skill, but they want to keep this combat very linear, it seems. Fixed an issue that caused agent select preview videos to still play during game. Okay, I haven't had that issue. Issue that caused players to be unable to recover any rival spies' bodies no longer disappear when they disconnect. Oh, this is a good one because a lot of the time, whenever you would kill a squad, when they disconnected, you knew you wiped them because then their bodies would despawn, and you're like, okay, now we can move on. But now that they're keeping it there, you'll never know if they despawn or if you wiped them or not. So that's really good, especially like for the people who like to camp the bodies and they're unsure if they have a teammate or not. That's a good change. I like that. Fix an issue where the amped up status effect would stay stuck after the pregame lobby. I've had this issue. It's not really that big of a deal because as soon as the game starts, it goes away. It's just a visual glitch. Fix the crash caused by dying while the drone is active. I haven't had that one happen. Fix charm overlay staying stuck if player disconnected before the effect ends. Again, that's probably like a visual glitch, just like the amped up thing. Issue where spies would be missing in the end screen. Revive UI not appearing if revive started before spectator mode started. Fixed issue leading to invisible weapons and player hand, mostly with Cavalier. I've seen the one where like Cavalier would have 2 different skins on her weapons. I haven't seen the one where her weapons just disappear. Change interact prompt location on briefcase and spy cache to prevent instances of them being non-lootable. I think I've seen that happen. Like they would get clipped under the stairs or something. So yeah, hopefully that fixes that. Fixed issue leading to charm effect following characters even when immaterial. I don't understand that one. An issue that allowed players to extract at an extraction that was previously called if the briefcase changed hands. So does that mean that you can't like if one team called the extraction point and it's already there and you take the briefcase, you can't extract there? Is that what they're saying? Or are they saying that if it gets called to another one and you go back to the first one? Because that one makes more sense. Removed kill cam option from the menu until it's actually ready. That's funny. I like that. Fixed areas where players could clip into environments in Fragrant Shore. Interesting. Agents, Cavalier, it's a setup zone overlapping with floors underneath. Dang, that was a bug. I thought it was more like a bubble, like an area like this in a bubble, and like if there were things in the bubble area below and above, it would trap those too. But I'm assuming they just want it to be on the floor in the circle. So that's interesting. That was a bug. Fixed Cavalier base passive melee stopping her run. Fix an issue where Larson would have his weapon disappear when using ADS in midair out of cover. Okay, Larson being able to hack a vault terminal while invisible. Interesting, did not know about that. Han's incapacitator orb visual now fits with the actual collision size. All right. Fix an issue that allowed players to heal faster in Yumi's bubble by leaving and entering repeatedly. That's interesting. If I had known that, I probably would have exploited it. But yeah, that's all of the updates, changes, fixes of this intra-season update. So it's gonna be interesting to see some of these in play, especially this one. The elite guards. This one's gonna be cool. I like because just visually it looks better. I like this. I like pretty much everything they've changed except for the fact like the movement stuff. That's the only thing that I don't like about the update. But everything else, thumbs up. Yep, everything else is a thumbs up. Movement changes, I don't know. We'll see how those go. But I'm not a fan of them nerfing the movement abilities and techs and stuff like that. So I feel like having, knowledge of these movement like techs makes you a better player overall versus just the average person that plays the game linearly. I think it just adds more interest when you like know how to use the movement to your advantage. But that's just my opinion. That's the new update coming to Deceive Inc. and it's live now actually. So go check it out. I know I'm going to be playing this again. This is probably a really long video, but thanks for watching and I'll see y'all in the next one. Deuces.
hope I can get some tips out of this. Ah, so time-consuming. No safe is safe from me.
Look, over here.
There's a whole ass team in there. Oh shit, let me in.
All substance, no style.
I heard him poof like a fairy.
They were right here a minute ago.
He's like, oh, Fred, let me in. Ooh.
Ici, regarde.
Where'd you go? Where'd you go? In the bathroom? Yep, right here.
Over there.
It is called freeway. Not sure
God.
like it. A vault terminal
Dude, he's going on the other side, yeah, that way. Oh, that wasn't bad? Okay. Thought it was. Damn, he gone, bro.
Never mind.
He's in here, I think. Oh, never mind. I lied.
We're faster and have deactivated a vault terminal.
I just got drone traced. Also have 18 shots left in my gun.
Word. Sorry, I was following his staff because he looks sus, but he's an NPC for sure.
I'll get some ammo.
Not a bad idea to grab these. Simple enough. And that is how you do it.
Were you trying to check E?
No vault terminal. Better hurry up to the next location.
Got it.
Y'all both went for it, but didn't take it. There's a guy following behind you. Kind of sus a little.
Who, me?
Yeah, but I think he's alright. He might be NPC. Yeah, he NPC.
Oh, More toys to play with.
Oh, okay, bet.
Right here.
I can check them real quick if you want. That person there?
Vault terminal deactivated.
Yeah. Yeah, there are.
Competition is serious.
Oh, it's the Larson too.
Vault is set. You know where to go now.
Hey, I know you're here somewhere.
Jumped out the bat, maybe. Nope.
Ally down. Not the outcome we had in mind.
Seems scary, don't they?
Must be close by.
Traveler's dead, by the way. Oh, and got her.
Never mind, I'm not paid enough for this.
That's so fucked. Their green chips clipped, bruh.
Yeah.
Move along.
Guess we just go for it or what? I want to go for the case or just wait for the enemies.
We can do whatever you want, bro. I don't care. I don't mind either way. I don't have like increased intel or like the exfiltration scanner taking less, so I wouldn't grab briefcase myself. But if y'all want to,
Never mind.
well, they decided for us, baby.
Sold it back.
Dude. All right.
I have my shit routed to C just in case. They haven't scanned yet.
No, I think we're out of range anyways.
Oh, true.
I could also melee it, steal the case if anything. Looks like they're coming this way.
Oh, you're Larson right?
Yeah. Oh, maybe A? Or I mean B? Yeah, they're coming mid. Sure.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
right here.
mid.
Right here.
Check this out. Look at that. A fine position.
Ally down.
I failed you.
My melee did not steal the case, by the way.
Someone just disappear like that.
No pity for spies.
Nah, you're good, G. I fucked that up.
Alert! There's a spy right here.
All right. I'm gonna heal up real quick if y'all want to go for it.
I was grabbing ammo.
Yeah, they just routed to B. I think the blue guards, right here. They're at B.
Extraction vehicle on
Yeah,
standby.
blue and green.
Don't let them get away. Extraction zone has been switched. Coordinates revised accordingly. Extraction vehicle on standby. Last chance to take back what is yours.
You're going to C now.
Extraction zone removed. We've adjusted the coordinates. Extraction vehicle has arrived. You are getting away.
Ah, they got me.
Must be close by.
Yo, GG, we
Nice,
tried.
dude. But they, damn, that was close. GG's.
Yeah, it was close. GG, dude.